آریانا افغانستان یگانه شبکه تلویزیونی ملی افغانها در خارج از کشور.
توانا بود ارکی دانا بود، ز دانش دل پیر برنا بود. دلای او بخونکه خدای پنامه گران و قدرمن دوستان سلام علیکم هیله چرا خوشحال هورا مسایی او دنن روزیده پوهن رناده په اخبرونه دیر خراغلاست زه مریم اسماعیل ارسلا دا اخبرونه تاست د آریانا افغانستان نریوال شبکه خبرنده کام او ایله لرم چه تاست از رپورت او استفاده ورسیدی بینندگان عزیز و ارجمند برنامه دانش روشنایی است با آرزوی صحت و سلامت شما برنامه امروز آغاز میکنیم. امیدوارم شاد و صحتمند باشین و هفته خوش و پرثمره را با عزیزانتان در هر گوشه و کنار جهان که هستیم سپری کرده باشین و بازم خوشحال هستم در برابر شما عزیزان قرار دارم. برنامه امروز البته یک برنامه است که از هر نگاه استفاده خوب از کرده میتونین، چی در دنیای به اصطلاح پروفشنال در ساحه کارتان باشه، چی در زندگی شخصی باشه، چی در زندگی فامیلی و اجتماعی باشه. از هر نگاه برنامه امروز یک برنامه خوبی است که برای همه قابل استفاده می باشه. ولی قبل از اینکه به محتویات برنامه و به معرفی میمانم بپردازم، یادآور باید شم که هفته آینده مهمان عزیز ما مهدی جان طاهری اکرم است و موضوع برنامه برست کانسر و یا سرطان سینه است. قسمت میدانین ماه اکتبر ماه آگاهی از سرطان سینه و یا برست اویرنس مانت می باشه و از او خاطر خواستم که در این مورد صحبت کنیم و البته همچنان ماه جلوگیری از احتیاط به مواد مخدر در همه سیما که هفته گذشته در این مورد صحبت کردیم. خب دوستان عزیز ارجمند، البته همه میدونیم که در زندگی در هر ساحه زندگی ما همیشه روبرو میشیم با درگیری ها، مخالفت ها و تضادهای فکری، چی با همسر باشه، چی با فرزندای ما باشه، چی با پدر و مادر باشه، چی با در کار با عامل ما باشه، چی با همکار باشه، دوست و رفیق. زندگی البته زیاد کانفلیکتس و یا تضادهای فکری و یا درگیری ها و مخالفت ها را همش در بر میگیره و البته از این درگیری ها راه گریز وجود نداره. اما چطور در برنامه امروز راهی را میهمان ما طرح میکنه که چطور میتونیم که با این درگیری ها روبرو شویم، مقابله کنیم، راه حل پیدا کنیم. و امیدوار هستم که شما دوستای عزیز با توجه خاص برنامه رو ببینین و در مورد اختلافات و تضادهای فکری و یا درگیری ها و یا کانفلیکت میتونین که اگر سوال داشته باشین در برنامه امروز میتونین تلفن کنین. خب میهمان امروز ما جوان بسیار خوب، همکار همیشگی برنامه آقای hasib azhand که مستر آف بزنس ادمنستریشن از پوهنتون ردلند گرفتن و یک موتیویشنال اسپیکر بسیار خوب و ماهر هستند و البته هر روز و هر هفته با صحبت‌هایشان، با تشویق هایی که مردم راه های حل برشان نشان میده و تشویقشان میکنه و اسپیچ هایی که میتن هر هفته شاید بگویم و یا هر ماه زندگی صدها نفر تغییر میتن و برشان بر مشکلاتشان بهبود میبخشد. و خوشحال هستم که آقای آژند با ما هستن. اسیب جان سلام، خوش آمدین.
سلام، تشکر مریم جان.
خوشحال هستم که باز هم با ما هستین.
تشکر. سلامای خود میرسانم بر همه بینندگان عزیز. بسیار تشکر.
خب اسیب جان، بسیار موضوع جالب را این دفعه انتخاب کردین.
بله.
که در هر ساحه زندگی به درد میخوره. You can use it in family life, at workplace, with friends, در هر جا. خب سوالایی که البته در موردش هست که طرح میکنیم و بازو سوالایی اگر بیننده ها هم داشتن حتما میخوایم که تلفن‌هاش رو بگیریم. دوست عزیز طبق معمول حسیب جان به انگلیسی صحبت میکنن و صحبتایشان ما به دری ترجمه میکنم تا حد امکان. شاید که کلمه به کلمه، حرف به حرف برای مشکل باشه، به خاطر به سرعتی که صحبت میشه و همچنان وقت برنامه گنجایش نداره، ولی چیزهای مهم و فرشته‌اش براتون حتما که میگم. اسیب جان, what is a conflict and what mindset should you have in looking to deal with a conflict? برای بار دیگر دوستای عزیز ارجمند، تضاد فکری، مخالفت و یا درگیری چی است و چی نوع طرز تفکر را باید اختیار کرد که راه حل با همه درگیری ها و مخالفت ها و تضاد های فکری راه حل خوب و منطقی و با آرامش پیدا کنیم.
Okay. So a conflict is a disagreement between one or more parties, and when two parties have different interests, that's where conflict begins. Now, I will tell you this. As long as human nature remains the same, man will always remain in conflict. Now, I know we all preach peace. That's a good goal, to go after peace. But we do live in a reality where we all don't have the same mind. So we are going to have disagreements, but the key here is, and the challenge for some of us is, how do we respond and react when a conflict happens? Right? Conflicts can happen in all areas of our lives, just like Mariam John had pointed out, in our personal lives, professional lives. A low-level conflict is when maybe two spouses are arguing with one another. That's a very low level. A mid-level conflict is a workplace conflict. All right, different companies, different departments have a conflict. A high-level conflict is when nations go to war with one another. So do you see how conflict happens in multiple layers? But there are different ways and more effective ways to respond to crisis or a conflict, right? My philosophy and many others in this field, they say we shouldn't immediately go for the kill switch, meaning that if a conflict happens or if you're a boss, don't immediately fire the person. Or, low-level conflict, you have divorce and marriages. Or high-level conflict, nations go to war, they drop bombs. That should not be the first resort when you're trying to resolve a conflict. And the other question is the mindset. As we go through the questions, I'm going to give you details. So I'm just painting the picture. This is what a conflict is. This is how conflict has always been. Now, how do we respond? So our response is in our control. Now, the next part of the question was our mindset. So, Stephen Covey, he wrote the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and a best-selling book. He says we must always think win-win. So, when we are looking to resolve a conflict, he says we need to think win-win. What is mutually beneficial for both parties? Or this principle works in a team conflict. What is a win-win for each party? Let's say you're at work, you're working with 4 people. What's win-win for each person? This is the key. It's either win-win or no deal. Because sometimes you're trying to resolve a conflict, but and you do everything that you can, and the other party is not looking to come in win-win. So in that case, once you've done everything you can, then you go for no deal. So in a work setting, I'm not saying that if we apply all this, it's going to be magic. Let's first try to resolve the conflict. And once we've done everything in our power, then we go to plan B. Maybe we have to fire the person. Or if we can't fire the person, I have to go look for a different job. Let's say I have a workplace conflict. Maybe I have to go apply to a different job, go back to school. Let me get out of this toxic environment. But I shouldn't jump there right away. Let me first try to resolve the conflict. If I'm unsuccessful or if it's not working out, then I go to plan Bs. What are my alternatives to addressing this issue and getting out of this negativity? So the mindset needs to be win-win.
خب دوستای عزیز از من قسمی که حسیب جان گفتن که عموما مخالفت و یا اختلافات و تضادهای فکری بین دو نفر صورت میگیره با افکار مختلف و عکس العمل‌های مختلف و باید که اگر یک تضاد فکری و مخالفت که یعنی در بین زوجها صورت میگیره و یک مخالفت بسیار شاید به درجه پایین باشه، لول پایین تر باشه و در کار اگر مخالفت باشه و یک ذره زیادتر است و وقتی که باعث جنگ بزرگ میشه و البته مخالفت است که زیادتر شدیدتر می باشه و راه‌های حل مختلف باید پیدا شود که هر دو جانب بتونن که به حساب برنده شوند و اگر یک طرف به فکر از این میآید که نه تنها پوینت خود مهم فکر کنه در اون صورت راه حل که نمی باشه باید آدم یک راه دیگه پیدا کنه. مثلا اگر در کار می باشین اگر یک همکارتان که شما اگر آمر هستین و اونا به فکر از این میآید که شما را همیشه محکوم میدانن به فکر منازعه میده که شما اونا رو برطرف مجبور میشین کنین و یا ای که اگر آمرتان همین فکر با شما داره پس چون که دویتان به اصطلاح برنده نمیشین که شما یک موافقت را رسیده نمیتونین با اون صورت خوب است که باید که از امون بگذارین و شما یک کار دیگه بر خود پیدا کنین. خب پس مهم است که در هر صورت وقتی که تضادهای فکری مخالفت می باشه باید با آرامی و با صلح و صفا راه حل پیدا شود که هر دو طرف خوش باشه از نتیجهش که هر دو طرف یک چیز یاد بگیره و به یک نتیجه برسن. خب اسیب جان how should we try to resolve conflict و یا که تضادهای فکری و مخالفت چطور میتونیم که راه حل برش پیدا کنیم.
Okay, so now we're going to get into more practical steps of what do you do sort of step by step by step. So first, like I said, it's the mindset. We have to think win-win. We want we want both parties or multiple parties to be have a mutually beneficial relationship. So that's called win-win. However, sometimes, going back to that point, some people want to be win-lose. Or I win and I want this other party to lose. That's not good either. And some people have a lose-win mentality where, fine, I'm willing to lose and I'll let the other party win. That's not good at all because then you're going to have resentments later on. So you want to have a win-win mentality. You need to focus in your mind. Remember, we had a lot of programs on mindset where what you focus on the longest becomes the strongest. So let's visualize internally. There's a power to visualization that it is possible that we can have a conflict resolution. We can resolve this conflict no matter how difficult this person is. Even though there are different personality types, let's try to visualize that we can resolve a conflict. It doesn't guarantee that it'll happen, but let's have a good mindset. So once we visualize what we want to think win-win, number 2 is we have to go to the source. Number 3, we focus on the issue. So when a conflict happens, let's say it's with a particular person, this can be in your personal life or professional life. It can be wife, husband, kids, uncle, cousin, whoever it may be, or at your work, it could be boss, coworker, students, whatever your work is. What we want to do is we don't want to gossip, ideally. Instead of going, this is what happens, people are so scared to address the conflict, right? This is really important, right? If we do not have the courage to confront, then we do not have the right to complain. I'm going to repeat this again. If we do not have the courage to confront, then we do not have the right to complain, right? And a lot of times when individuals, when they do not have the courage to confront that person, to address the issue, to talk about it, to resolve the conflict, that automatically leads to what? gossip. You talk to your friends about this person. Oh my gosh, I had such a bad day at work. So-and-so was so bad, was such a jerk. Oh my gosh. The story goes on and on and on. And does that help our situation? Yes or no? No, it does not. It adds more energy to the negativity, more and more and more. And that's why I say go to the source. Maybe you have to set up a meeting. Maybe you have to call that person. Hey, listen, this has really been bothering me. I kind of want us to have a win-win resolution about this. And this is where number 3 comes in. We have to focus on the main issue. Focus on the problem, not the person. So I'm going to repeat that again, right? You have to think win-win, number 1. Number 2 is go to the source. And number 3 is focus on the main issue of the conflict, not the person. I'm going to give you an example. So let's say I was recently working with an individual. He was actually helping me set up training materials for my seminars. Okay. And he was a bit lazy. He was a bit lazy in doing the tasks on time, and that kind of affected me. Normally, maybe there have been times in the past where normally I would have been really aggressive. Like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with him? He needs to hurry up. He needs to hurry up. But we're going to talk about assertive communication later, but this is what I did. I decided to become assertive, which means I stand up for myself. I address the concern, but I'm not disrespectful to the other person. I did it in a calm, cool, assertive way, not aggressive. And then what I did is I focused on the behavior, not the person. A lot of times when someone happens, oh, this person's such a mean person, he's a jerk, or this person's so lazy. Do you think I'll be effective in influencing that person if I walked up to him and I said, you are so lazy, you need to get yourself together, you need to hurry up? You think that person's going to be happy? You think that person is going to leave his job and be smiling on his face? Of course not. So this is what I did instead. Instead of saying, hey, get your act together, stop being lazy, I focus on the issue. You have to separate the person and the issue or the problem. You have to separate the two. Don't combine the two. It's a behavior. The person is not necessarily a bad person. The person is not lazy. It's just I've noticed lazy behavior. So then I don't accuse somebody's lazy. So what I said is this, worked much better. I said, Tony, listen, I've noticed there's been 2 instances when you've turned in your work later than expected. There's been 2 instances. I didn't say you're lazy. I said there's been 2 instances where you've turned in your work later than expected. Can we talk about this? What's going on? Do you need more help from me? How can I be of better service to you? Or what do you need from me? Or what can we do to help you turn in the work on time, at schedule? After that, we had a big conversation, 15 minutes, we discussed, we problem solved, done. You see, it's more effective we're going to talk more about this in the following questions, but when we're focusing on the main issue, you separate, even with kids, right? Kids, or even in your family life or personal life, right? A lot of times what maybe kids tend to do, parents tend to do, or even spouses, even family members, they may point the finger. They may say, hey, you're always like this. You're always like this. It's better to separate the person from the behavior. This means that, right? No, I've noticed that, whenever I bring up an issue, I've noticed there's been 3 times you've interrupted me. Now, I want us to have a good win-win agreement. And do you think that we will be able to come up with a win-win agreement when you interrupt me? You see, I didn't say stop being rude, stop interrupting me. It's a whole different communication pattern. So our language, the way we persuasion is the key to influence. It's the key to leadership, right? In my seminars, in my programs, I teach people step-by-step tactics of how do you become a leader? How do you become persuasive? So again, that's the key. We've got to focus on the issue.
خب دوست عزیز، قسمی که اسیب جان گفتن بهترین راه حل با تضادهای فکری و مخالفت‌ها و درگیری‌ها است که اول باید که یک طرز تفکر داشته باشیم که 3 جزء داشته که یکیش win-win که هر دو طرف باید برنده شوند و این فکر نباشه یک شخص که خب ما وقتی که صحبت میکنم باید که ما برنده شم و ثابت بسازم که طرف مقابل اشتباه کرده بود و اونا گناه از اونا بود و از منی. و یا به این فکر هم باید نباشین که بگوین اوکی خب من تسلیم میشم، امی تمام قصور از ماست و ممی گناه از ماست، به خاطر شما فقط بخواین که شخص مقابله طرف مقابله خوش بسازین. او هم درست نیست، به خاطر که در آینده براتون یک ندامت و عقده و پشیمانی پیدا میشه و در آینده خودتون آزار میده. پس باید راه حل باشه که هر دو طرف با هم به خوبی بشینن صحبت کنن و هر دو طرف به اصطلاح برنده باشن. و دومی است که گفتن که حسیب جان گفتن که به منبع مشکل فکر کنین نه به شخص. مثلا you said source.
Go to the source. When you have a conflict, you go directly to the person. Don't gossip.
اوکی. اما منبع که امر هر کسی که مخالفت دارین برین زودتر با امو شخص صحبت کنین. اگر شما صحبت نکنین و واضح که شما را رنج میده و آزار میده و باعث اذیتتان میشه، باعث زی میشه که شما باید به قسم دلتان خالی کنین. واضح است که باز به پشت سر از اون شخص شاید صحبت کنین، به اصطلاح غیبت کنین، بدگویی کنین که او نتیجهش بدتر است. باید امو منبعی که کانفلیکت و یا درگیری و یا تضاد فکری را باعث شده، شما با مو منبع با مو شخص مراجعه کنین و مسئله را امرشان حل بسازین. و سوم چیز است که گفتن وقتی که شما یک مخالفت می داشته باشین امر شخص مثلا مقصر ندانین، فکر نکنین که شخص خراب است، شخص کار خراب کرده، بلکه امو عملش، امو کاری که کرده، امو مسئله‌ای که است سر از او فوکس کنین. مثلا یک نفر قسم که مثال دادن اگر کار خود درست تمام نمیکنه، شما نگوین که تنبلی کردی، تنبل هستی و این کار درست نکردی، ولی باید که مثال بگوین که در این قسمت، در این موضوع این قسم عکس العمل این چیز بود و درست نیست. سر از امو عملی که داشتن سر عمل تمرکز فوکستانه داشته باشین، نه بالای شخص. یعنی شخص محکوم ندانین به خاطر که امو زیادتر یک تشنج و دوری و درگیری زیادتر و مشکل زیادتر ایجاد میکنه. خب و همچنان you said okay no confrontation no complaint right. اگر شما confrontation یا خودتان با اون شخص یعنی نگوین که موضوع مسئله شده، یعنی یک مشکل در بین وجود داره، پس اجازه هم خود ندین که در این موضوع شما شکایت کنین. اگر شکایت دارین، اگر مشکل دارین، پس در موردش صحبت کنین. اگر نمیتونین که مقابل یک شخص باشین و برش بگوین که اینی مشکل در اینجاست و باید این راه حل پیدا کنین و اینی مسئله من آزار میده، اگر این کار شما نمیکنین و جرأت یا ندارین و یا نمیخواین که مشکل زیادتر شود، بعضی اوقات آدم نمیخواد کنفرانت کنه کسی برشان بگویه که اینی چوری کار کردین، باید که در او حالت، در او صورت باید بخواد اجازه شکایت هم ندیم، به خاطر که ما خود ما نخواستیم که راه حل پیدا شود برش. درست؟ خب اسیب جان، what is assertive communication؟ و یا ای که صحبتی که با قاطعانه باشه ولی البته به قسم قاطعانه نباشه که تنها به مفاد خود آدم باشه، به صورت قطعی مثلا صحبت کنین، واضح و قاطع صحبت کنین که عادلانه هم باشه.
Okay. So before I get into assertive communication, I want to explain there's 4 different behavioral types. And behavioral types, yes. So you have individuals that are aggressive. You have passive individuals, you have passive aggressive individuals, and then you have assertive individuals. All of us in here, ideally, we want to be assertive. Assertive is somewhere in the middle between being aggressive and being passive. You have assertive. So that is where we want to be. Now, an aggressive individual is someone who tends to just yell at you. They're like a bully. They're loud in your face. Hey, you need to get this done right. Hey, get your act together. Hey, you're lazy. Hey, I don't like working with you. That's aggressive. Now, sometimes someone who's aggressive, they may be right. But the problem is they're very ineffective in influencing another individual. For example, I could have went up to the person and said, "You're lazy. How come you did this wrong?" That's aggressive. I may be right. But I'm not going to influence this person. He may hate me afterwards. So that's not a good communication tactic. Now, one more thing I would like to mention when it comes to conflicts, pick and choose your battles. You don't have to fight every conflict, but when a conflict grows bigger and bigger and bigger, and it gets into a great size, then that's time when you have to fight the conflict. Sometimes, if it's a really small issue, if you don't address it, it'll resolve on its own, okay? If someone argues with you about, I think at work, someone says, "Hey, I think the coffee maker should move to this part of the office. I want to move it to that part of the office." Well, let's say if it's inconvenient for me, I'm like, I really liked that part of the office, but you know what? It's not a big deal. I do not care. I'm going to let that one go. But if it's a big issue, like, for example, very related to a project, I think the project should go this way. Oh, no, I think the project should go this way. Then I'm going to address that conflict. So just one more thing I wanted to add. Just pick and choose your battles. All right? So that being said, you have someone that's very aggressive. Then you have someone who's passive aggressive. Someone who's passive aggressive, they give you little short jabs. Sarcastic remarks, okay? They kind of, what they say, go around the bushes. So they'll say little short jabs. "Oh, you're coming into work on time. Looks like you're not partying anymore." Little rude, sarcastic remarks. They'll say things like, "Oh my gosh, I guess you're not, looks like you're not that busy." They'll say little sarcastic remarks. You know what I like to call passive-aggressive individuals? They are the snipers. They're waiting for that right time to strike. They want revenge, but they're not going to show it in your face all the time. They're going to go behind your back. That's passive-aggressive. Okay? So the way we deal with passive-aggressive individuals, I'm going to tell you how to deal with aggressive, passive-aggressive, and then you have passive individuals. Passive individuals, they may not agree with you, but they never show it. They'll just nod their head and accept whatever you tell, but deep down, they hold resentments. They don't stand up for themselves. So that is where we want to be. We want to be an assertive communicator. This is the definition of an assertive communicator. An assertive communicator defends his or her rights without violating the rights of others. So when we're communicating assertively, we stand up for ourselves and we are not disrespectful. So when we're dealing with someone who's aggressive, here's how we could communicate assertively. Let's say someone's coming up to me and says, "Hasib, I hate your work. It's really sloppy. How dare you give me this pathetic garbage?" Here's what I would say. First, I wouldn't be aggressive. I wouldn't say, "Hey, you're rude. Don't talk to me with that tone. How dare you? I'm going to talk to the boss." You don't want to do that. What you want to do instead is we stand up for ourselves. So, "Hasib, I hate your work." I say, "Sir, I don't appreciate your tone." Let's stop right there. I don't appreciate your tone. Can we talk about this, right? Then we want to focus on the main issue. Can you show me specific, right, actions, specific instances where my work has been sloppy? Because I want us to have a win-win relationship and a win-win solution. Do you? Of course that person does. So show me specifically where I need to make changes, and I'll be happy to make those changes, but it can't be done in this tone. That is much better because, yes, I'm not letting this person speak bad things about me. I stand up for myself. Hey, I don't appreciate this tone, but I'm not being disrespectful to him either. Sometimes this requires us to take the higher road. I'm not saying it's always easy, but the question is, what is our goal? How bad do we want to resolve the conflict? To live a better life, to live a better, more peaceful life. Okay, so that's the key. When we are dealing with someone who's passive-aggressive, "Oh, Hasib, you're coming to work on time. You're not late anymore. What's going on?" That's passive-aggressive. So I would look at that person and I would address that person head on. I say, you know what, Tony? What do you mean by that? Well, he'll say, well, can't you take a joke? Well, you really know in your mind he's not really joking. There's some truth in his joke. So I'll say, hey, well, no, what do you mean by that?
That was a passive-aggressive would say.
Yeah. So passive-aggressive may say like a sarcastic remark. He'll say, oh, Hasib, you're finally coming into work on time. You're not partying, I see. That's like a little under the table little joke, right? Mm-hmm. So what I would do is like, Tony, what do you mean by that? Oh, well, and then let's say he responds back to me, well, Hasib, can't you take a joke? Well, what do you mean by that? Then they'll stop. With passive-aggressive, when you address them head on, like they'll do a little joke to you, and when you address them head on, they'll stop. And then what you can do is you can elaborate on it. Like, Tony, listen, if you notice anything about me that you want to talk about, just be open with me. I want us to have a win-win relationship, a good working relationship, or this can even happen in your personal life. You know, a child, husband, spouse, wife may say something, or a family member may say something passive-aggressive to you. Just like, hey, what do you mean by that? Because if you notice something of my behavior that's wrong, let's talk about it. Let's see if we can deal with it. Let's address it. It's a waste of time. Let's not beat around the bush, as they say. Let's talk about it right away. So that's great. That's passive-aggressive. Now we have passive. A passive person is someone who never speaks up. They tend to be more shy, more scared. It doesn't mean that in their mind they don't agree. They may disagree with you, but they keep it inside. They're like, oh, I don't like this person. Oh, I can't believe he's making me do this, but they don't show it. Mm-hmm. So here's what you do. When you're talking with someone and you know that they're passive, make sure you let them know that it's okay. Like, hey, let's eat lunch over here. And let's say that person says, okay, that's fine. But let's say you know this person's passive. What you want to say is, listen, if you don't agree with my decision, please let me know. I want us to have an open relationship. And your interests are my interest. Here's one thing I also want to mention. How do we come up with the win-win relationship? I said think win-win. Well, how do we come up with the win-win relationship? That is when we combine both parties' interests. Your interests are my interests. That is how we come up with the win-win relationship. Well, then the next question is, how do you know what someone's interests are? Well, you have to ask them. Don't be shy. So part of because the question is assertive communication. I have to elaborate on this because this is everything of how to resolve conflicts. So, you deal with the different personality types, right? You have passive, passive-aggressive, aggressive. When we talked about assertive communicator, you stand up for yourself and you don't violate the rights of others. And now back to a win-win. We got to combine both parties' interests. So we have that clear. Now, here's the key to leadership, to persuasion, to influence. What we have to do is we have to understand the other party's position and interest. And they have to understand my position and my interests. So what I want to do is when I tell someone to do something, I have to show what's in it for them. So I'll give you an example. Tony, I need you to do this report for me. And this is why. And you give the reasons. That is the key. So I was recently at a seminar one time, and a lot of the seminar attendees said, oh my gosh, Hasib, it's really cold in the room. Can you please turn up the temperature? So what I did is, unfortunately, I couldn't turn up the temperature. I had to go to the front desk of the hotel for them to come in the room and turn up the temperature. So I went to the front desk and I let the lady know. I said, hey, listen, I have a training and it's really cold inside the room. Can you turn up the temperature? They said, okay. So I go back, 35 minutes go by and there is still no change. So the students were complaining, it's cold, it's cold, it's cold. So what I did is I went back to the front desk. I repeated myself. Hey, listen, no one's shown up. Can you have someone come there and turn up the temperature? She said, okay. So now I go back and 30 minutes go by, still no change. Now thoughts started coming into my head and they were not positive. I was really angry and this is how we keep ourselves cool. So I had to say stop. I had to stop those negative thoughts. Stop. stop, cancel. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. I'm going to resolve this. So I go back to the person at the front desk and I said, aha, I need to practice what I preach. So this is what I did. My problem was I was just stuck at my position. What was my position? I need the temperature to go up. That was my position. But you know what was missing? What was missing is I didn't give my interest. Because sometimes you can just say, hey, I need you to do this. Sometimes your kid or your family or your coworker may say, okay, they'll do it. But if they don't do it, don't be surprised when you tell them to do something. Because they need to know what's in it for them. Because except for your close friends and family members, really, everyone only cares about themselves. This is a reality of life. Mm-hmm. You're only willing to do so much if what you're willing to do is related on your own interests. So that's how the world works. People are caring about themselves. They're not always caring about what's going on with you or with anyone else. So if that's the case, what we have to do is we have to go and state what our position is, but we got to show what's in it for them every single time. So what we have to do is you talk to the person, and this is what I did. I said, you know what? Listen, the reason why. So I said, I need you to turn up the temperature, but here's why I need you to do it. And I said, the reason why I need you to turn up the temperature is because the students have spent a whole day in the classroom. And in order for them to get the most out of the day, I need the environment to be comfortable. And my company books seminars at your hotel every single week. And when our customers complain, what's going to happen is we may never book a seminar at your hotel ever again. We may go to another hotel, and you are going to lose business. Do you want to see business lost? He says, oh, no way. And then I asked her, I looked at her in the face. He's like, yeah, so we really need to do something about the temperature to make sure, business is not lost, because we do like working with you. And I hope you can return the same favor. That's much better. So I go back into the room, and guess what happens? It is too hot. So I got what I wanted. They finally sent someone over. They turned up the temperature. Why? Because I showed what's in it for them. Sometimes people don't care about you. That's a reality. So you got to show what's in it for them. And let's say someone is telling you to do something now. Let's say it's the reverse situation. Hasib, I need you to do this. Then I'll ask them, well, why? I need to know their interests. If you want to know someone's interest, ask the question why. And this is how you come up with the win-win relationship. You both parties, let's say it's Hasib and John. We have a conflict. So we have two different positions. Mm-hmm. What we do is we gather the positions, we combine our interest. So we gather the positions, we ask why. Why do we feel this way? We gather the interests, we combine both parties' interests, and here you have a win-win solution. My last example before we go to another question is, there was also a couple. My friend, he was a couples counselor. And there was a husband and wife. They were fighting. It was a middle-aged couple, and they were fighting, and it was a really bad relationship. They were almost contemplating divorce. So here's what happened. This is a story from my friend. Very interesting. So towards the end of a session, the wife looks at the husband and says, oh, honey, this is a great session. The wife sitting here, husband's there, and says, honey, this is a great session. Let's have lunch here at this restaurant so we can continue the progress. The husband looks at the wife and says, I don't think so. Not today. You should have seen, my friends, you should have seen the look on the wife's face. She was so angry. She looks at the couples counselor, the therapist, and says, see? So she was pointing the finger. So what happened was my friend looked at both the couple. They said, stop. Hold on. See, sometimes we get stuck at the position level. The wife's position was, I want to eat at that restaurant. The husband's position was, I don't want to eat at the restaurant. That was the position level. If the husband and wife were stuck at the position level, imagine the car ride home. It wouldn't be so happy. And what happens is, in the absence of facts, we start making assumptions when we don't have the facts. How do we have the facts? We have to know the interests. So if the husband and wife were scared of confronting each other, the wife may assume, oh my gosh, my husband doesn't love me anymore. And the husband may say, oh my gosh, what's wrong with my wife? She takes things so serious. What's wrong with her? Both parties would make assumptions. So here's what you have to do. You have to gather the facts. So what are the facts? My friend asked the wife, why did you say you wanted to eat at that restaurant? Well, she said, the reason why I want to eat at the restaurant is because we're having such a good session. I want to have one-on-one alone time with my husband with no interruptions or no third party. So the wife wanted to go to the restaurant, not because it was her favorite restaurant. It wasn't even because she had a menu. There was a favorite dish that she wanted to eat there. It had nothing to do with that. It's that she wanted a one-on-one alone time with the husband. But we wouldn't have known that if we didn't ask why. Same thing with the husband. Why did you say no? Was it because you don't love your wife? He says, no. It's because I have to pick up the kids from school. And the place that she picked was too far away from the kids' school. So I thought we'd have lunch some other time. Maybe not today. He's like, I didn't know she would make a big deal about it. So the husband's situation was inconvenience. Mm-hmm. So here's what happened. So we know the wife wants one-on-one alone time. The husband wants convenience. My friend said, well, how about this? Can both of you pick a place to eat that's close to the kids' school where you can have the one-on-one alone time and you have time to pick up the kids from school? Yes, they found a place. Problem solved. Just by figuring it all out. And in this process, when we're brainstorming, this is called problem solving, there's one point that we need to figure out, or one point that's missing. Empathetic listening. This is the highest level of listening. When someone is speaking to us, we need to put ourselves in their shoes. Empathetic listening is the highest level of listening. In all my seminars, I've trained thousands of individuals across the United States, and I've taught presidents of companies, CEOs, workers. This basic but effective concept is empathetic listening. Empathetic listening, like I said, is the highest level of listening, and you put yourself in their shoes. You think the way they think. You know their wants, their needs, their aches, their pains, their frustrations, their desires. However, you accept what they're saying. You want to get an idea of where they're coming from. So you accept what they say, but you do not have to agree with what they say. You accept what they say, but you don't have to agree. You want to understand where they're coming from. And when someone's really listening to you, did you know listening builds trust? It builds connection. It builds rapport. What does rapport mean, connection? When we have conflicts, we've broken rapport. When we're looking to resolve conflicts, through thinking win-win, through listening empathetically, through communicating assertively, not being disrespectful, we're building more of a connection with that other person. And once someone's done listening, what you want to do afterwards is backtrack and clarify. Restate what they've said. So if someone's talking to me, Hasib, I think we should do X, Y, Z. This is what we need to do to finish the project. I'll listen, and then what I'll do is, Tony, let me be clear. Is this what you want from me? Am I on the right track? No, you're not, Hasib. Could you please explain that to me again? And listen again. Oh, Tony, is this what you mean? And he'll say, yes, Hasib. You want to backtrack and clarify. This shows that you know what they're saying, and they know that you know what they are saying, and that builds trust. So I know I talked a lot about this dynamic, but this is very important. These are key elements of resolving conflicts.
So now do you expect me to translate that?
You can try to just translate just parts if you can, and,
right,
then we'll
sure.
go. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I was teasing you.
Okay.
خب البته قسم که اسیب جان گفتن 4 نوع روش مختلف وجود داره که یکی پاسیو است که اشخاص هستن که یعنی از خودگذری میکنن، فکر میکنن که هر چیزی طرف مقابل گفت با وجودی که در داخل اذیت میکنه روششان خودشانه، ولی تیر میشه از اون چیزی که اونا میمانه که اون نفر دیگر چیزی که به اصطلاح به اون مرام از اون شود. یکی روش دیگه است که assertive است، که یک شخصی که aggressive است، ببخشین، یک شخصی که بسیار میخواد که همه چیز کنترل کنه و هر چیز بدل خودش باشه و به اصطلاح از زور کاراکتر و پرسونالیتی خود استفاده میکنه، که این قسم روش بسیار بی‌نتیجه است و کدام فایده نمیکنه. و قسم دیگهش هست که پاسیو اگریسیو، کسی شخص است که مثلا خود قسم نشان میده که اول خود خاموش میگیره و چیز نمیگه و با وقتش که برسه یک کنایه میگه، به اصطلاح از پشت خنجر میزنه و صحبت‌های گپ‌های حرفای میزنه که یعنی درست نیست که صحبت‌ها را کنه، به اصطلاح عامیانه کتره پرانی میکنه و قسمش خاصه. باید قسم روش پیش آمد کنیم که مثلا وقتی که یک کسی بر ما یک کنایه میگه، پرسان کنیم هدفت چیست، باز یک چیزی گفت باز بگیم خب هدفت از این هم چیست. به اون قسم است که رایل پیدا میشه. شخص البته از اون قسم روش خود شاید دوری کنه و شخصی که از خودگذری میکنه برای از او هم باید بگوییم که میفهم که یک چیز اذیتت میکنه، چی است، چی میتونیم کنیم، چی راه حل است که خودت اذیت نکنه. و شخصی که به اصطلاح اگریسیو است و از میخواد که از سر و صدای خود و یا از قدرت خود استفاده کنه، او شخص هم باید برش خاموش نشینیم، ولی باید که از هر چیز هم ما انتقاد نکنیم، خردگیری نکنیم. قسمی که اسیب جان گفتن که pick your battles به معنای عزیز که مثلا اگر چندین موضوعی که شما را ناراحت میسازه، ببینید کدامش عمده تر است. یک چیز عادی اگه باشه خب بگین چی فرق میکنه، خب از اون بگذارین، اما یک چیزی که بسیار ارزشش زیادتر باشه، مهمتر باشه پیشتان، او را باید که در موردش یک کاری کنین که یک راه حل پیدا کنین و نگذارین که او شخصی که اگریسیو است اون شخص مو مرام خود حاصل کنه. و بهترین راهش است که باید assertive باشیم که عادلانه یک کار را حل کنیم، به صورت قاطع بگوییم هدف خود، ولی بدون از اینکه حق طرف مقابل تلف شود و بدون از اینکه حق ما تلف شود. و این البته میگن که assertive communication که به طریق بسیار مثبت خوب ولی به طور قاطع بگوین که مثلا ما میخوایم که کار به این شکل صورت بگیره و اون وقت است که شاید نتیجه خوبتر بگیرن و باید که قسم از حق خود دفاع کنیم که به طرف مقابل هم عادلانه باشه. و همیشه در این موارد باید که موقف و علاقه هر دو طرف باید درک کنیم و ببینیم و به هر دو توجه کنیم. و هم موضوع دیگره که اسیب جان گفتن که باید empathetic listener یا شنونده با درک باشیم که تنها به خود فکر نکنیم ولی خود در موقف طرف مقابل قرار بدیم، ببینیم که طرف مقابل اگر من به جای این شخص می بودم آیا چی توقع می داشتم و چی می خواستم شوه. با اون خاطر باید یک شنونده با درک باشیم و طرف مقابل هم با توجه کنیم برشان. خب اسیب جان، what are the different personality types and how do you communicate with each?
Okay.
شخصیت مختلف، چی نوع شخصیت مختلف وجود داره و با هر نوع شخصیت ما چطور میتونیم که راه حل برای مشکل و درگیری پیدا کنیم.
Okay, so I'm going to touch upon this very briefly, but there are 4 general personality types, and this is from Tony Alessandra. He has a book called Relationship Strategies, and he talks about the 4 key personality types. You have number 1 is the socializer, number 2 is the relator, number 3 is the director, and number 4 is the thinker. So the reason why it's important for us to know about the personality types is that there's specific ways of how you handle each personality type when it comes to communication. So there's a saying called the golden rule. The golden rule states that treat others how you want to be treated. Okay, so that's great. When it comes to general morality, that's a good principle. However, I like to talk about what Tony Alessandro says. He says we must follow the platinum rule. The platinum rule states treat others how they want to be treated when it comes to day-to-day communication. So if someone is a director, for example, directors tend to be very straight to the point. I want to get this done, get this done, get this done. They don't like to chat a lot, gossip, socialize. So if you're a socializer, you have a very chatty personality, you like to socialize a lot, directors don't like that. So if you're talking to a director, you need to be more to the point. Be straightforward, be matter of fact, take emotion out of things. So we have to follow the platinum rule. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit. I know we're short on time, so I'm going to just touch briefly. There's general personality types of each one and how do you talk to each one. So like I said, let's talk about the socializer. The socializer is very people focused. They want to get the job done, not so much to just get the job done and collect the paycheck. They really want to get the job done because of the people. They are also looking at it from the standpoint is, what's my relationship to other people once I get this job done? So my boss wants me to get this job done. If I get this job done, are people going to respect me? Am I going to help my customers? How is the team going to look at me? So the way they're thinking about getting a job done is very people focused. Socializers tend to be very big picture individuals. They are very chatty. That's what they like to call the chatterbox. They talk and talk and talk and talk. And sometimes in the workplace, they may take up too much of your time. Okay? None of these personality types are good or bad. I'm not saying they're good or bad, but they all have their strengths and weaknesses. And we tend to have a blend of each type. We're not just one type. But we may have a stronger percentage in one type more than the other. So some of us may be 80% socializer, 20% director. So I'm going to touch upon this briefly. And again, if you go to my website online, you can have more information. I have videos that talk about more information about this in detail. But that being said, so you have the socializer, which is very people focused, faster pace. But so their strengths of a socializer is that they're good leaders. They can draw people in. They have great energy. They're upbeat. They have a good personality, a good energetic personality. A weakness is that they can be a little bit all over the place. Okay, so the way you want to deal with the socializer is you want to be more upbeat, be energetic, be a little bit more social and outgoing. So now I'm going to move on to the relator. So the relator is what I like to call the get along person. They want to relate well to people. They want to make sure that everyone in the workplace or everyone in life is taken care of. So they're what I like to call the get along person. So I know we're short out of time, so I'm just going to touch upon this briefly. So a strength of a relator is that they're very loyal. However, a weakness of a relator is that they have a little structure. You need to help with a relator, you need to help them prioritize. So you need to sit a relator down and say, what are the important and urgent tasks that you need to work on? You need to help them prioritize and give them structure. A relator is also people focused, but they are slower paced. Now I'm going to move on to the director. The director is, they don't like socializing too much. They just want to get to the point. They're very task focused. They want to get things short, simple, sweet, to the point, get it done, move on to the next task. They're very task focused. So with the director, they don't like a lot of socializing or talking, just get to the point. Now, what I want to talk to you is about the thinker. This is the last part. A thinker is, before they make a decision, they take their time. They want to make sure they have all the facts, all the figures, dot all the I's, cross all the T's before they finally make a decision. So when they make a decision, it's very well thought out. That's a strength. But a weakness is they may take too long. So with the thinker, you have to make sure you know what you're talking about. You have all your facts, and you have everything lined up, and then you build credibility. So the point of this is, in order for us to reduce conflicts even more, let's understand the personality type. Let's listen empathetically, communicate assertively, think win-win. And there's a lot more to this. I'm just scratching the surface, but that's the basic nutshell of this. And for all the viewers watching, feel free to download my free book. It's on my website. Just go and type your name and email. You get my book if you want to be successful in life. It's my 5 keys to success. And thank you so much, Mariam Jahan.
خواهش میکنم. خب دوست عزیز بسیار فشرده باید براتون بگویم که ضرور است که باید که شخصیت های مختلف باید بفهمیم بشناسیم که چه قسمی است که با اون نوع امرایشون روش رفتار کنیم که درگیری و یا تضاد فکری ما رفع شه. مثلا شخصی که سوشالایزر است بسیار میخواد که اجتماعی است و همیشه صحبت میکنه، وقتی که مشکل امروز دارین باید از طریق اجتماعی بسیار صحبت اول سر صحبت در یک موضوع دیگه باز کنین و آیسته آیسته مطلبتون بگوین و مشکل رفع کنین. و ریلیتر کسی هست که میخواد که همراه هر کس سازش کنه و همیشه یک شخص لویال یا وفادار می باشه. یک قسم اشخاص باید که how do you deal with the relator? I'm sorry.
A relator, you want to be nice with them, pat them on the back.
بله امروز اونا
Everything's going to be okay.
قسم روش کنین که اونا را یعنی آرامش خاطر بتین که همه چیز درست می باشه. دایرکتر کسایی هستن که میخواین که همه چیز زود با مو قسم مو شکلش که است باید که صورت بگیره. یعنی امروز اونا بسیار وقتشان ضایع نکنین به خاطر کسایی است که میخواد که زود به مو حل مسئله برسه و نتیجه گیری کنه. امروز او اشخاص به مو به اصطلاح به مو نتیجه برسین و مطلبتون واضح بگوین که چی است، چی میخواین و چی مشکل میخواین حل کنین. و کسی که تینکرز متفکر است او کسی است که همیشه وقت خود میگیره، در مورد یک موضوع فکر میکنه، باز بعد از او تصمیم میگیره، نتیجه گیری میکنه. امروز اتو شخص اگر مخالفت می داشته باشین کوشش کنین که تمام افکار و گفته‌هایتان با بسیار دقیق فکر کنین و بعد از او سرش صحبت کنین، به خاطر که او شخص بسیار همه چیز تحلیل و تجزیه میکنه و ما باید شما هم باید آماده همون چیز باشین. خب اسیب جان البته باید از سیدی تان تشکر کنم. سیدی که به ما فرستاده بودن بسیار، البته آقای آژند یک سیدی بسیار خوبه بر ما فرستادن و من در موتر همیشه گوش میکنم. واقعا که به من انرژی میبخشه. مخصوصا بعضی اوقات من همیشه منتال نوت فکر خود کار میگیرم که این کارو میکنم و بالاخره بعضیش از یادم میره. اما می گفته شما که اگر روی کاغذ ننویسین if it's not written it's not going to be done, right? و ما امو کار راستی عملی کردیم. بسیاری چیزای نظریات اسیب جان که از دی سی دی واقعا بسیار موثر واقع میشه. مخصوصا کسایی که با کارهای خود یک ذره فوکس نیستن، مشکل دارن و همیشه کار این روز به فردا مندازن و یا منفی فکر میکنن، به یه اشخاصی سی دی بسیار موثر واقع میشه. و با وبسایت تان میتونن
بله yeah, if you go on my website بله hasibinspires.com you can find the CD.
بله بسیار یک سی دی خوب است برای همه، یعنی من توصیه میکنم. بازم بسیار تشکر که سی دی رو به من فرستادین، بسیار استفاده خوب است ریش میکنم.
الله تشکر نیست. تشکر.
خب اسیب جان بازم تشکر که با ما بودین. باز انشالله که چند هفته بعد باز هم میاین. خب دوستای عزیز ارجمند، این بود برنامه امروز ما. قسمتی که گفتم هفته آینده مهمان عزیز ما میری جان طاهری اکرم در مورد سرطان سینه و برست کانسر صحبت میکنن و با تشکر مجدد از مهمان عزیز و همکار عزیز شهاب جان برنامه امروز به همینجا به پایان میرسونیم. تا هفته آینده خداوند یار و مددگار.
بود ارکی دانا بود ز دانش دل پیر برنا بود.